Thank you, sir, for shedding light on the clear perspective for the way forward. We now welcome Sri Nimish Pandya, Vice Chairman, Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, to address the August gathering. Sri Nimish Pandya.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering our most humble salutations at the Divine Lotus Feet of our most beloved Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba, and eternally acknowledging that He is omnipresent with us and right now blessing all of us as we have this function dedicated as His Divine Lotus Feet. Pranams to Bhagwan with a prayer to guide all of us. Because the most important thing on this auspicious Guru Poornima day is to recognize that He is the doer, He is the master, He is the planner, He is the executor. It is important for all of us to recognize on this auspicious Guru Poornima day that all our lives are ordained and objected to only one goal, and that is to recognize that the Master has repeatedly reminded us that He is in us. He is outside us, above us, inside us, below us, everywhere. In fact, I'm always enamored at the quote when Bhagavan said that everything in the world is complicated, God alone is simple. And we've always wondered that why have we always tried to make God complicated and the world simple? Why are we always external in our look? And what is it that stops us from going internal and recognizing the truth of what Bhagavan has said? We've always realized that Bhagavan has realized our handicap in understanding this simple truth, that He alone is simple and everything else is complicated. And therefore, out of His infinite grace, He gave us the platform of the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization with simple mandates and simple diktats for each mankind to follow. Dear brothers and sisters, are we not completely blessed to be contemporaries of the Divine Master, to have heard from His divine words and His grace and His love, the simplicity of the path that leads to His lotus feet? And therefore, the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations all over the world have a very unique existence. Because Baba said this is a platform. This is not the ownership of anybody. Nobody can stake claim of ownership on this platform because He is the boss. And He's very clearly laid down that I have nothing to do with this organization. I've gifted this to you with my name with only one goal, and that is to ensure that each one of us strengthens our one-to-one relationship with Him before we close our eyes and exit this world of this beautiful world that Bhagavan has created. It is very important for us to note on this auspicious Guru Poornima day, brothers and sisters, that every breath, every action in sadhana must be directed to that goal. That when the eyes have to close, we only see Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba and no one else. Nobody else is important except for Him is the mandate. The Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations, India, had really no hesitation in joining the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, because India stood as a cultural heritage to unite, and as Brother Chakravarti mentioned, Vasayudhaiva Kutumbakam, one family. We are not your family and my family, we are our family. The world is one family. To say that India is different from the international organization or the international organization is different from the Indian organization is ignorance. Because all of us are one. We are bound by one love, one affection. And therefore, we had no hesitation at all in joining. In fact, it is a furtherance of the divine plan unfolding before all of us, brothers and sisters. In retrospect, when I look back at the decision of joining the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, I realize that in these difficult times of pandemic, when the world is suffering, Akin to what Lord Shri Krishna did when he raised the Govardhan Parvat and brought the whole world below the Parvat in protection. Today, the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council is the act of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba of raising the whole Govardhan Parvat and bringing the world below in its protection. And that is the whole divine concept of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council. I wonder where was the debate to join or not to join. The whole concept was to join the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, which is located in Prasanthi Nilayam. Is there a doubt? Is there a debate? In fact, that is the point that we need to reiterate and offer ourselves at Divine Lotus Feet. That there is no scope for debate on Bhagwan, what Bhagwan has said. The only duty is to follow what Bhagwan has said. Bhagwan can't be recognized by intellectual pursuit alone. It is total surrender added to intellectual pursuit that will help us to realize the Divine Lotus Feet, brothers and sisters. And this Guru Poornima day, we have this beautiful platform of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council. And indeed, it is destiny, it is divine plan that it should be located and centered in Prasanthi Nilayam. Because for a large tree like this, which is growing all over the world, the roots have to be secure. And what better place than securing the roots in Prasanthi Nilayam, where the seed was sown by the Divine Master himself. So where is the question of any debate? For this tree to succeed and to remain bright, resplendent with fruits and leaves and branches from time eternal, the roots have to be in Prasanthi Nilayam, and let no one doubt that ever. Secondly, don't we follow the Master? Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, right from his childhood and as he grew up, promised his mother Ishwaramma that I will never leave Prasanthi Nilayam and go. I will stay here. In fact, when Sakamma offered Bhagwan, Sakamma Kafi Podi, as I understand, when she offered Bhagwan that I'll give you palaces to stay, Bhagwan says, no, I'm going to stay in Prasanthi Nilayam. It is Bhagwan's own action where he stayed in Prasanthi Nilayam and invited the entire world to come to him, and he never stepped out. I think the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council is in sync with Bhagwan's action, where the council is centered in Prasanthi Nilayam and has invited the entire world to join. And therefore, that is the sacrosanct reason where it should be in Prasanthi Nilayam only and nowhere else. Brothers and sisters, the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council is a huge family. And in family, there are bound to be different kinds of people. There are bound to be different people with different natures and different aspects and thought processes. But the family is one. And the family that stays together is dear to Bhagwan. The family that comes together is dear to Bhagwan. I like the words that the chairman, Shri Chakravarti, mentioned. Yes, we are hoping for the returns of the prodigal sons who have not joined till now. But they will join because it is divine sankalp. How can you stay away from the Divine Master? And imagine a branch or a tree which wants to live on its own without the roots. I don't know how the intelligence can tell them that this branch or the tree will survive at all at any point of time. We are blessed in India to be one of the largest components of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, as you've just heard from my earlier speakers. India accounts for 95% of the global population of Bhagwan's devotees all over the world. In fact, recently during the COVID Seva, when I got the report from my constituents, we have been able to serve 40 lakh people in India. And without any help from anybody, the devotees have garnered more than 24 crores worth of help to the people in India all throughout the country in the last pandemic, second time. How does this happen? We are all simple people. We are not MBAs and we are not management consultants. We are humble people in India, constituting 95% of the world's devotees who have only one thing in their heart. We want to make Swami happy, we want to improve ourselves, and we want to be dedicated at the source, which is Prasanthi Nilayam. As rightly said, for decades and decades, the Indian organization has been in association with Prasanthi Nilayam. Every week, thousands of people are here doing seva. In fact, probably I now get a feeling that the people abroad could not connect because they never got this opportunity to come and do seva in Prasanthi Nilayam. I suppose henceforth, if people from all over the world come and do seva in Prasanthi Nilayam, then the connect is going to get stronger and stronger. And imagine, if 95% is India, And 5% is rest of the world. From amongst that 5% also, UK, Mauritius, South Africa, and Nepal, being one of the strongest and the most populous devotee-oriented countries, if they've joined, and half of United States of America, the few who are left, I'm sure Mr. Chakravarti's prayers are going to work and they will see the light of the day and come. There were 3-4 points that came up, and I'm grateful to Bhagavan for helping us and inspiring us to understand those 3-4 points which came up. The first point was of autonomy. And I thought to myself, Bhagwan's only autonomy given to people is not to office bearers of the Sathya Sai organization, not to the institutions. In fact, the Sathya Sai organization is not an institution at all, it's a platform. And the office bearers are not the people who have to achieve autonomy. The autonomy is for every devotee around the world to choose and be free to practice the teachings of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. That's where the autonomy lies. We have not taken away anybody's autonomy. The second fact is that, are we true to our thought, word and deed? When you listen to Bhagwan, you listen to his discourse, and his discourses and his writings become your Bible, you are always united in thought, word and deed, and then there can be no dispute about that. As we will see now shortly after I finish my presentation, Bhagwan has very clearly said what to do and what not to do. And therefore, I as the All India President has always found it very simple. To be very sure of what we are doing, just follow Bhagwan, see what he has said and do it, and don't think. That's a simple solution that it comes forward from everywhere. And that's been the strongest factor, the supporting factor, why India has gained and the great. And lastly, having said that India is the largest component, there was an issue. Is India going to dominate the world? And the answer is, Bhagwan has said that India will never dominate the world. India will inspire the world as a leader. The word is inspiration and not domination. Domination is not in our culture. We are an inclusive society. We welcome everybody. In fact, we become one with everybody else. And despite becoming one with everybody else, it is God's grace that we still retain our uniqueness of Indian culture and spirituality. And therefore, the world need not fear about India. On the contrary, Bhagwan has said in his discourses that I want the world to follow what I have taught India. And that teaching which Bhagwan has given to India must lead the whole world as an inspiration and not as a domination, are facts that we want to learn. Dear brothers and sisters, we are not here to pull at each other. We are not here to roll two ropes on two sides and pull against each other. We are here only to be governed by one pull. And that pull is the love of our Divine Master, Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. And we have no pullings to do with anybody. We do not hold any rope on the other side to be a tug of war. We leave the rope because we believe that the doer is Bhagwan, and therefore we do not hold any rope in our hand. On the contrary, we say with warm hands, come and join us. With these few words, dear brothers and sisters, I am extremely happy to be a part of the Shri Sathya Sai Global Council. India, my state presidents, my members of the National Council, all know very clearly from the bottom of their hearts that our salvation lies in surrendering to the Master, not by the brain, but through the heart. That's where he resides. And we pray to Bhagwan to bless all of us today, that very soon as we march towards the centenary celebrations, one world, oneness, all of us together, all of us look alike. We have only one form, and that's the form of devoted people at your Divine Lotus Feet. Jai Sai Ram.